Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Spiritually Vegan. I am Dina Aherne. Today I have with me Viva's founder Juliet Gellatley, who is about to actually give a talk in Leicester at the Phoenix Theatre on the realities of the dairy industry. And before she actually starts her talk, I thought I'd grab her for a moment so that you, for those people who can't attend this talk, get a very nutshell version of why actually in this day and age we don't need dairy, and also why the realities of dairy are far from what the industries lead us to believe. So, Juliet, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So, Juliet, can you tell me, please, about your recent undercover investigations that you carried out amongst dairy farms in the UK? What was it that you found?
So we started the whole dairy investigation with Cadbury a while ago, and we filmed on 15 farms, and what did surprise me was the fact that all 15 were zero grazing. And zero grazing means, as you'd expect, that no cow ever gets to see a blade of grass in their life. They give birth to calves, obviously, because by giving birth, that's what makes them produce milk, of course, and it's the milk that they want. So some of those calves, i.e. the males, are just treated like trash. And we filmed for the first time, I'm not sure anyone else has filmed it in Britain because it's very hard to film, was a little male calf being taken from his mother and shot in the head, and he was taken off for the Beaufort Hunt hounds. So the male calves literally being used for feed for the foxhounds. And we developed the campaign, and just this year I went with some colleagues to several different farms. So we wanted to show really what's typical. We weren't out to show the most extreme examples at all. We just wanted to show what normal dairy farming is about. And so we filmed in an Arla farm. Arla are huge. They produce things like Cravendale and Lurpak, the big brands. And we filmed on Cadbury again, another supplier. And we filmed on various farms around southwest England where there's an awful lot of dairy farming with various different supply points. Basically, what you find is a common thread, of course, going through all of them, and that is that dairy cows have been selectively bred over so many years now that they just cannot cope with the physiological demand. And what I mean by that is that you will often see lame animals, so they're in severe pain, limping along with laminitis. You'll see that a lot of them have got mastitis, that's an infection of the udders, and a third of the British herd have that at any one time. And when you're actually in the place, you can see why, because you can see how the bacteria from the indoor sheds that they're standing on and the muck that's around, that the bacteria can spread from cow to cow very easily indeed. And we went into one of the milking parlours for one of the dairy farms that supplied some ice cream, and the actual equipment was just disgusting. I mean, it was filthy. And so you can see again how bacteria can spread from animal to animal. And that's why they allow 400 million pus cells per litre of milk in the UK. They can't get rid of that because there's just so much pus in milk because of the mastitis. We saw really ill animals. One farm in particular, the animal, this clearly wasn't a new illness. It's something that developed over a very long period of time, and she could barely walk. She was emaciated and in a right old state, and that illustrated for me the way a lot of dairy farmers allow the animals the state that they allow them to get in, because relative to other animals they're longer lived. And what I mean by that is in the UK on average they're killed at 5, which is very young for a dairy cow, but it's a long life compared to a lot of factory farmed animals, and the state that they are allowed to get in. And another animal, we actually decided to call a vet because she was lying on the floor and could not move. And so we went outside and called until we got a vet. And to his credit, he came out about 3 o'clock in the morning. And he, again to his credit, took the decision without the farmer's permission and without the police's permission. We called the police, we called the RSPCA, and they didn't come out. And to his credit, he took the decision that this animal was so ill he would euthanize her. Often vets will not do that. And he euthanized her on camera and actually said why he was doing it. And again, this animal had not got in that position overnight. This was again a long-term illness, and he confirmed that, and it's all on the Scary Dairy film. And there was another animal by her who was basically couldn't get up either. Another animal whose eyeball was kind of basically or pretty much popping out of the actual eye socket. And another vet said that probably meant there could be something like a cancer behind it pushing it out. Obviously we don't know, but that the animal would be in acute pain. And suppose I'm telling you this because these are the things that, you know, we encountered, and you film it, and these are just on so-called normal dairy farms. You know, you go onto a Cadbury farm or an Arla farm and you'll see animals shackled, so they're shackled by the back legs to stop them doing the splits. Which, you know, it's got that real vision of the slave trade of, you know, of human beings. And of course these animals are enslaved. And I think apart from what I've just told you, which obviously were very upsetting, what I found really emotional myself was the calves who'd been taken from their mothers, because they are all taken, and it's one thing saying it, they're all taken, it's another thing standing there next to this animal who is like probably just say 2 days old, suckling like mad at your fingers because she can't get any comfort and does not understand why the hell she has been separated from her own mother, and the mother just bellowing over there, you know, meters away, and you know they'll never see each other again. It's one thing saying that, it's a very different thing experiencing it, and it's horrible, and it happens across every farm. So that's not, again, an extreme thing. Well, it is extreme emotionally. What I mean is every farm practices it, whether they label themselves free range, organic, zero grade, it doesn't matter. They all take the females and the males away. These females are put in hutches and they're isolated for 2 months, and the males, as I said before, are usually killed.
Juliet, thank you for that. So Juliet Gellatley from Viva has just given us an account of what she found through her undercover investigations of UK dairy farms. The things that she has shared with you are across all dairy farms. This is standard practice. It is DEFRA compliant. It is legislation compliant, separation of mother and child, the killing of male calves, sending them to hunt hounds, and the tying up of cows, the shackling of them, the manipulation of their bodies to make them produce more and more. This is normal practice. And, you know, the one thing I would say for those watching this, and you know, I come across this a lot when people say that they're vegetarians, or they couldn't give up milk, or they couldn't give up their cheese or their paneer or their ghee, is really just ask yourself, after hearing this is from somebody who's seen it themselves, they've got it captured on camera. The film that Juliet just talked about is online, you can watch that. Is your taste really worth it? Is your habit, is your culture, is your tradition worth their pain and suffering? And if it is, then ask yourself, where does your moral compass lie with knowing that, and can you sleep at night? That's all I'll say. If you are on the internet, do check out Viva's website, viva.org.
It's viva.org.uk, and what I've been talking about, there's a new website about to go up, which is scarydairy.org.uk, and it's not just got the cruelty I'm talking about, it's got everything to help you change as well. So there's a massive section on foods, big section on health and all the nutritional questions you might think of. So it's a very comprehensive website.
Thank you for that, Juliet. So, you know, questions such as, where do I get my calcium from? Does dairy really give you calcium? Where will I get my protein? What can I substitute? These are the things that you can actually look up. In this day and age, we do not need dairy. We do not need animal flesh on our plates. So heed the message for the planet, for the animals, and for your health. Thank you. So do follow me on Spiritually Vegan. That's the YouTube channel, and I'm on Instagram as well, and also on Facebook. Thank you for watching. See you next time.